Hello everyone and welcome to the Trade Ideas live trading room recap for Tuesday, November the 6th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your trading room. Any questions you might have for me, you can use this email address. A link to get into our free room, 100% free. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our free room. I open the room every day at around 9 o'clock Eastern Time. That's when I start to share my screen and I get live on the mic at about 9:05. I go to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time now, and on Monday to Thursday, and 3 o'clock on Fridays. There is a link for a big 25% savings off Trade Ideas. That's either off the first month of a standard or a premium subscription, or the entire year of a standard or premium subscription. And that promo code that you see in the body of this email, which I think is Holly Drive, all in capital letters, that will be good until 11:59 Eastern Standard Time Sunday night. Okay. Well, what a day. I'm somewhat amused by people saying, wow, it's going to be really slow ahead of the elections. Nobody knows what's going to happen, etc., etc. Well, I mean, that may be true. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But as far as our market is concerned, at least what Trade Ideas sees, this was anything but a slow day. Now, one of the reasons is that there are just so many companies. This is the big earnings week. 1,600 companies release earnings this week, and 1,000 last week. And next week we're slashed in half down to 800. Still be very active, but this is the big earnings week in terms of the number of companies. And I have to laugh. I say that to some people, and they say, yeah, but Facebook and Amazon and Google and Apple, they've already had their earnings. Who cares? The thing is, guys, is that when you some of these companies that have earnings, it's their day, and they're super active. Lots and lots of trading opportunities for those stocks on what I call, quote unquote, their day, because yeah, typically they kind of go underneath the radar for most people. Not a lot of people. There may not be. They're not the Apples. They're not the Facebooks. But so what? They just give us great trading opportunities. So I want to. Well, okay. First, I want to show you CYOU as an example. Now, this had earnings yesterday. All right, and just check out the daily on it. Oops, time frame. Let's get to the daily chart. So look what it did. It had earnings yesterday. So yes, it did close below, the open from the day before, I guess. I'm sorry, it closed below its open. That's why you see a red candle. But look what it did. It got all the way down there, and then the buyers took over for basically the balance of the day and closed it high, compared to this level right there. So I'd actually said in the pre-market, when we do our, by the way, I open the room at 9 o'clock, as I said, and that's when we start talking about some of the things that might be interesting. And one of the things I did point out, as I said, you know what, guys, probably should watch this one, see if it has a bit of continuation. Now, this was the pre-market action for it. Now, when the market opened, it looked pretty bleak. I'm sorry, this is yesterday. I'm sorry. So this was the recovery it had. So the market opens, and it's stabilizing very nicely. Now, the interesting thing for me is that CYOU had 3 different Holly alerts. And that'll happen every now and then. There was one. What I mean by that is that you see it here. And was this the one? No, I don't think so. So you see it here, okay, in Holly 2.0, and then in Holly Neo, it happened twice. 2 different strategies, and it happens every now and then. So that should have been a pretty good clue that even though it was a little bit whippy, all right, that this had to be watched. So one of the alerts was at 1585, the other one was at 1598, and the other was at 1566. So all underneath 16. So I looked at this, and this is right when I was on my break. Okay, and I watched this little pullback, and I thought, you know what, Holly knows something here. 3 alerts, 3 different strategies, 2 different Holly versions. So I ended up taking this trade right here, and I sold most of it up here. So it's to me, and that's why I sort. That's why here's how I choose to use Holly. I sort on the risk on profit column all day long. I want to see the strong ones all day long. Even though Holly is out of the trade because of a timed exit, that's what risk on means. That means, well, what if she were still in the trade? What would be happening? So, on a timed exit, She was up like 0.26%. No great shakes, obviously. If you maintain the trade, you'd still be up. You'd be up 5.81%. Now, I'm not saying you would have held on through all the gyrations, but because it was a strong stock, this is, I say this all the time, is that Holly gives the Holly alerts make good watch lists for the day. And so that's what, that's how, in my opinion, you have to treat these. So just because you don't get in at 1585, it gave you an opportunity in this pullback and to take the trade right around here. So, there is an example of one. This was kind of my trade, and I don't often do this, but today I did. And where are you? G-Sky, right. So this was in the pre-market, and this is an earnings play. And look at what's happening. Well, more importantly, as I always tell people, somebody asked me in the room, what is the time frame? What is my most important time frame that I look at? And I know it sounds crazy. It's the daily chart, because when I click on an alert, no matter, and I don't know how they're setting up on the daily chart, but when I click on an alert from my earnings plays or my low floaters on the move or any of the gappers, I'm always looking at the daily chart. So when I saw this, I thought, wow, I mean, there's no support for this. It doesn't mean that it's going to go to zero, but there's basically no support for this. So again, let me bring back the 15-minute chart. So again, I'm clicking on the alert here, and then I'm looking at that daily chart. I see no support. So anyway, bottom line is that, and I don't often do this, but I took this right here. I wanted to see if it was going to bounce at all, but I ended up taking this trade right here, and I don't often do that. Usually I wait the first 15 minutes, and if I'm going to take one of a trade in the pre-market, a lot of times it is just like a crazy little bio that might be having some good news in the pre-market, and it's going to pop. So I don't often take a short in the pre-market, but I just looked at that daily, and I thought, you know what? I was going to put my out at if it got over 11, and it didn't. I took the short at I think it was 1085. I closed some right down here at 938, and then, I mean, look what it did. I mean, it got all the way down to 851. I mean, that's over $2 from my short. And as it started to move up, I got out of the trade, closed the last of it. I think it was at 895. Yeah, right about here. So that was just a tremendous trade. Looking at a daily chart. All right, looking at a daily chart. And now look what it's doing. A lot of people actually played this bounce, which is fine. I mean, you can play it both ways. That's a tremendous bounce too, and easy. When I say easy, there was no up and down. I mean, it was just basically kind of steady up on the 15s. Now it's starting to give it up again. But anyway, that's what I did in the pre-market, and then with the CYOU. This was one I was going to be watching anyway, regardless of Holly. But I mean, just trying to point out the fact that when you get a Holly alert in 2 different Hollies and 3 different strategies, you really have to watch it. So even if you miss it, what you think is a miss the first time, keep watching it. It might give you an entry later on. All right, well, we're almost towards the end of the test drive. There's only one more day left. Again, the majority of people, of course, were done on Friday. But there will be some people who still have access to the test drive because they didn't start on Monday last week. Some people started on Tuesday, and some people started on Wednesday, and they still got 5 free trading days, or not free, but 5 full trading days. So tomorrow it'll be over after the market closes. That'll be it. I will not be showing the Holly alerts, the Holly trades during the day anymore. I just do that for the test drive. Not fair, of course, for the people who pay for our premium service if I'm going to display the alerts all day long. So if you come into the room tomorrow, you still have a chance to see how I use Holly anyway. So I want to close this down now. I want to get back into the room and bring back the capture program. So if you have any questions, again, this is the email address, link for our free room. 100% free, no credit cards, no nothing. You just have to create a password, and then you can come into our room, and you don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas. And again, look for that 25% promo code, 25% off the first month of standard or premium, or the entire year. And again, I guess I should just mention again the Brokerage Plus issue. Brokerage Plus right now is included in your premium service. Even if you're not using it, even if you don't know what it is, it's part of your premium service. I actually have a link for you. You'll see Brokerage Plus in this email also. You can click on it, see what it's all about. And so it's part of the premium service. So if you have our premium package right now, you don't have to worry. As long as you maintain your subscription, you'll always have access to Brokerage Plus. And if you don't have our premium service, as long as you subscribe by November the 14th, and then maintain your subscription afterwards, you'll always have access to it. On November the 15th, we take it out of the premium service. It'll no longer be it'll be an add-on for $1,100. So, I mean, look, the main reason why anybody takes our premium service is because of Holly. Now, so, you know, that's the obvious reason. But if you are interested in kind of auto trading or managing your trades through Brokerage Plus, then and even if you're, you know, maybe your interest in Holly is 50% and the other is 50%, well then please take out that get a subscription to our premium service before November 14th. All right, everybody. Hope you have a great evening, and we'll see you in a trading room tomorrow. Bye bye.